You'll learn a lot.
Take that with it, you can put that, take it with you, put it on it.
Because I just want to, like, it bothers me.
Because these are people you don't know, whereas me, this doesn't bother me at all. I'd rather speak in front of a room of 5,000 people than
Then I want people,
because then I feel like they're judging me.
like, oh, she stumbled
She
over
knows what I'm
that.
talking about. I know exactly what you're talking
Hi, Kelly, how are you? She's like the receptionist at the church. She got me into an exercise class.
That's right.
I needed that equilibrium.
There must be a messed up.
Well, the girls got to meet at 7 a.m. So we got to meet. And Ray, his dad's name is Ray. His son was Mom called him Ray. Everything else.
My curiosity is deep.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
No. Yes.
That would be
To the Pledge of
So what did you
Allegiance.
say?
Like I pause and then
Yes, when everybody is finished. And then you say, oh, because it's
scroll down and you just
I haven't done this yet.
and then it's awkward. Some sit, some stand. You know.
Oh, okay.
Buffy's just.
Do you actually?
Yeah, I said hi to her alone. But she did.
No, it's not.
Oh, she's just.
Yeah.
She was just there, right?
I can tell you since he sits up. I hear him.
So how many came last
Takes
time?
off.
That's why he doesn't sit in front of the
No, actually,
We got a complaint, the mother doesn't sit in front of the
Sophia.
it wasn't one of my house.
I know she does.
Because of the one that, the guy up there.
You know, there was a leader's daughter.
Because he would
that
always,
was
boom, boom,
seven
take off.
years.
And never hit his.
Who's gonna be the call?
And after
Oh, that's.
they eat the pipe. I didn't.
Now the kids.
Wait, I want to see.
Because that's not.
But it was said,
Oh,
so who's
wow.
gonna do that?
Oh, that's really
And the leader's begging her daughter to do it. Begging her daughter to do it. Julie, oh, please, would you do this? It's important. She grew up in school, she was a teacher.
You weren't there.
See how that, the big story. I'm gonna buy a small take home. When she went from Gold, this girl that couldn't speak it, she went from Gold, she was collecting Campbell soup can labels. And you could go through the catalog of Campbell soup catalog and get all these things she was getting. Body anatomy.
Good evening and welcome to the regular City Council meeting. Today is Tuesday, October 1st, 2024, and it is 7 p.m. Regular meetings are generally held on the first and third Tuesday of each month in City Council chambers here at City Hall. City Clerk Assistant, please call roll.
Yes, Mayor. Councilmember Genoway?
Here.
Councilmember Johns?
Here.
Councilmember Winstead?
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Otto?
Here.
Mayor Jennings?
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum.
Thank you so much. Now I would like to invite Inga Harding from the First Church of Christ Scientist to provide this evening's invocation, followed by Cadet Girl Scout Troop 6488 to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. All rise, please.
Please join me in prayer. Dear Father, Mother, God, we come together here each month to honor the accomplishments and to address the challenges of our community. As we transition from the warm summer days to the cool fall weather, there is a hint of the changes in our climate that brings both relief and expectation. This climate of change is also being felt in our lives as we approach an election to choose a leader for our nation. Your wisdom, God, your guidance and unfailing love for each one of us is far greater than the differences that appear to separate us. As the psalmist shared, "Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity." God, we embrace change as a means of finding your love and care with each new experience. Bless this gathering and help each of us see your tender love and remember your instruction from the prophet Micah. What doth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God. Amen.
Amen. If you have to pull it down a little bit.
Audience attention. Color guard advance.
Here she comes. Face the mayor.
Color guard present the colors. Would the Honorable Mayor, City Council members, and audience please join in presenting the Pledge of Allegiance? Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Audience may be seated.
Thank you very much. We're going to come join you down in the well. Thank you so much. And team leaders, come on up. What are you called? What's your title? Troop leaders, come on up. We would love to meet you too. Would you please introduce yourself? Tell us what grade you're in and your favorite patch that you've received so far.
My name is Buffy. I go to Johnson Academy, and my favorite patch is probably this this Cookie Boss badge.
I saw that and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Very cool. And you can hold the mic.
Thank you.
Okay. My name is Keely, and I go to St. Anne's School, and I'm in 8th grade. And I guess my favorite patch is probably the one I got for helping a Girl Scout with, was it their silver award? Their silver award. It was like at a soccer tournament, so it has like a soccer ball on the back, and it says something. I don't know what it says.
Soccer sisters, play it forward.
Yeah, and that's why it's my favorite.
Do you remember where they're sending the equipment? To Mexico?
Yeah, they're sending the equipment to Mexico.
I'm Mary Oliver, and I'm one of the troop leaders for their Girl Scout troop, and they've been together since kindergarten. They've been friends since kindergarten and Girl Scouts since 1st grade, and we're really, really hoping that they can continue all the way through high school. And they're currently working on their Silver Award project to support the Family Assistance Ministry shelter in San Clemente.
Hi, I'm Lainey Orona Hicks. My daughter is Buffy, and I'm co-leaders with Mary. And we have 5 girls in our troop. Unfortunately, 3 of them had sports or other commitments tonight, but we're happy that they can be here representing. And they are a very strong troop. They're strong friendships with each other. They do a lot for their schools, their community, and their friend group. And yes, agree. We want them to go for the big gold award in their senior year.
All right, well, let's get a picture. And give him a hand, yeah.
Stay here at the 5. Where are we going?
Let's get in a little closer. All right, who's going to dismiss us?
Color guard dismissed.
Great job. Excellent.
Thank you so
Nice
much.
to meet
It is really nice to
you.
meet you.
Nice to meet you. That's all we have. Thank you. Thank you to our Scout Troop for being here. They're strong, small but mighty, so thank you very much for being here tonight. Before we move on our agenda, I would like to take a few moments to formally recognize the month of October as Italian American Heritage and Culture Month. Italian American Heritage and Culture Month exists to celebrate and honor the achievements and contributions of Italian immigrants and their descendants. In 1989, the President proclaimed October as Italian American Heritage and Culture Month. In Laguna Niguel, we recognize and celebrate the many impactful achievements of Italian Americans both here in our community and across the region and state. Additionally, the month of October is recognized as Fire Prevention Month in the United States. The primary goal of Fire Prevention Month is to raise awareness about fire safety and promote measures to prevent fires. A key part of Fire Prevention Month is Fire Prevention Week, which typically takes place from October 6th to the 12th. This week focuses on specific themes each year, such as ensuring you have working smoke alarms and creating fire escape plans. Throughout the month, various campaigns and activities are organized by the Orange County Fire Authority to educate people about the risks of fire and how to take proactive steps to protect themselves, their families, and their properties. Please visit ocfa.org or fpw.org for more information. Thank you. We will now move on to public comments. Any person wishing to address the City Council is respectfully asked to complete and present a gold color request to speak form. These forms are available on the counter that is located near the entry door of the council chambers. Please be aware that the time limit will be 3 minutes for each person to speak. This is a time for members of the public to share comments with the City Council. The Brown Act does not allow the City Council to respond to speakers at the meeting. However, City staff will follow up and respond to questions or provide information needed. Speakers will be called in order from the request to speak forms. To allow equal time for speakers, minutes may not be given to another speaker. You may have another person read your written statement. City Clerk Assistant, are there any requests to speak forms?
No, Mayor, there are none.
Okay, thank you very much. We will now close public comments. We will now move on to our consent calendar. Are there any items to be pulled from the consent calendar for questions or discussion by my council colleagues? Nothing? Okay, can I get a motion to move the consent calendar in a second? Okay, motion passes. Great, thank you very much. We will now move on to our discussion item. Our discussion item this evening is the introduction of ordinance number 2024-230, establishing regulations applicable to the planting and care of trees on public property and making a finding of exemption under CEQA in connection therewith. Public Works Director Scott, will you please introduce this item?
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, members of the council. Tonight's presentation will be provided by Kevin Tobin, the Public Works Maintenance Services Manager.
Thank you, Jackie. Good evening, Mayor and members of City Council. My name is Kevin Tobin, and I serve as the Maintenance Services Manager for the Public Works Department. Tonight, I have the privilege to present the proposed ordinance number 2024-230, which, if adopted, would establish regulations applicable to the planting and care of trees on public property. This ordinance supports the city's strategic plan, which established a goal to achieve Tree City USA designation from the Arbor Day Foundation. Established in 1976, the Tree City USA program supports a national network of local tree management practices by providing technical guidance and a network of support from tree management professionals and other Tree City USA cities. By pursuing this designation, we would join over 3,500 other communities who have demonstrated a commitment to urban forestry. To qualify for a Tree City USA consideration, there are 4 overarching standards. 1, clearly defined responsibilities for city tree care and maintenance. 2, the implementation of a robust tree management program with a spending of at least $2 per capita on urban forestry. And 3, the celebration of Arbor Day. The city already meets these first 3 conditions. The final provision required for recognition is for the adoption of a tree care ordinance, which brings us to the proposed before you tonight. The ordinance will memorialize the city's existing maintenance and management practices for public trees and meets Arbor Day Foundation requirements for consideration. The proposed will standardize the placement of new city trees, ensure appropriate city tree selection that minimizes interference with public infrastructure, and establish guidelines for the care and preservation of city trees. This will help our urban forest enhance community aesthetics, reduce noise, aid in emissions reductions, and improve the overall environmental health of our city. Current regulation of private trees on private property will remain unchanged by this ordinance. If ordinance number 2024-230 is adopted, staff will finalize the Tree City USA application and expect the Arbor Day Foundation to recognize the city in early 2025. This ordinance represents our city's commitment to promoting a healthy urban forest and is a step we can all take pride in. Staff recommends that City Council waive full reading, make any amendments to, and introduce ordinance number 2024-230 by title and direct proposed ordinance to be placed on the agenda for adoption at the October 15th, 2024 City Council meeting. This concludes our presentation, and staff are available to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tobin. Great job. Any questions from my colleagues? Okay, thank you. We will now open for public comments. City Clerk, Assistant, are there any requests to speak for?
No, Mayor.
Okay, we will now close public comments. Is there any further discussion? Mayor Pro Tem Otto.
Yeah, I'll make some comments. I think this is a wonderful thing that we're doing for our city. It kind of memorializes what we're already doing, and it helps us to ensure that we will keep doing that work. We also helps provide an identity for our city. We already have a couple trees on our city seal, and we will be getting some signs. I understand we'll be getting some Arbor Day signs that we'll be able to place around town. So I think it's a really great thing to build community. Kevin Tobin already mentioned some of the things I was going to mention, but I just want to highlight quickly cooler temperatures, cleaner air, and higher property values with trees. And it's interesting to me to know that a lot of people buy their house based on the trees in the yard. And I thought that was really interesting. So trees are important. They make it a nicer, beautiful, more community. A couple facts. Trees help absorb the sound of traffic in urban areas by 40%. Neighborhoods with trees are 7 to 9 degrees cooler than those without. And trees can reduce energy costs by shading buildings. So I'm so happy to support this, and I hope that my colleagues will as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional comments? Okay. May I get a motion to waive full reading, make any amendments to, and introduce ordinance 2024-230 by title, an ordinance of the City of Laguna Niguel establishing regulations applicable to planting and care of trees on public property and making a finding of exemption under CEQA in connection therewith, and direct the proposed ordinance to be placed on the agenda for adoption at the October 15th, 2024 City Council meeting. Can I get a motion and a second? Great, motion passes. Thank you very much. Thank you, Director Scott and Mr. Tobin, so much. We will now move on to City Council, City Manager, and Department reports. City Council reports. Who would like to go first? Councilmember Johns.
Thank you. I'm just going to report on one thing I did over the last couple weeks. On Sunday, September 30th, I joined my wife, Michelle, and Donna Mulvaney and Donna Carter at the American Legion's Auxiliary Unit with the American Legion's Auxiliary Unit 281 in San Diego. We did the honor flight coming back from Washington, D.C. There were nearly 70 veterans from World War II, Korea, and Vietnam that came back on that flight. There were between 500 and 1,000 people down in baggage when these people came home. I have never done the Pledge of Allegiance with more people in my life. It was amazing. And the echoing through the baggage area was amazing. We sang songs. There were 500 to 1,000 or more flags flying. And there wasn't a dry eye in the audience, in the group, including the vets, as they came down, and we celebrated their return. So if you ever get the chance, I strongly recommend doing it. It's done twice a year, once in the spring and once in the fall. So Hopefully you get the opportunity to do it next spring.
Great. Councilmember Winstead.
All right, thank you. So I just wanted to share with everyone that your city council members and we all attended a Laguna Niguel Interfaith Council Breakfast of Compassion. It was a wonderful event. Numerous faith-based organizations were there and service organizations were there, all united for one cause of taking care of the most vulnerable in our communities. It was wonderful to be there, and as Ms. Hardy mentioned this morning, or sorry, at the beginning of the meeting during the invocation, that it was just very reassuring to see that there's more that unites us than divides us. That was, it was evident in spades at the Breakfast of Compassion, and it's just nice to be reminded by that. So thank you very much. And also on another note, I am very much looking forward to attending the, this Saturday is the, it's a crafts fair and snap and treat at the community center, Grand Valley Community Center this Saturday. So hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Genoway.
Thank you very much. I'll just comment on one thing tonight. Many months ago, this council, or at least a majority of this council, took a position on a ballot measure that you will see on your ballot coming in the mail in the next few days. It is an effort to change the state constitution to make it easier for cities, counties, and special districts to increase property taxes above the 1% limit that we are accustomed to in this state. The goal is to increase property taxes to make housing more affordable. Said another way, they think the solution, and this was placed on the ballot by the legislature, it's not a citizen-led initiative. This was placed on the ballot by legislators in Sacramento, aiming to solve the housing problem in the state by making it more expensive for you to afford to live in your home or to pay rent for your apartment. This ballot measure is now given a number. It's Proposition 5. And this council has taken a position of opposing Proposition 5, and I hope you will join us in doing so when you receive your ballot in the mail. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Otto.
Thank you. I just want to give an update on some good news for veterans in the county. One of the roles that I play is I represent District 5 on the Orange County Housing and Community Development Commission, and HUD has now made it easier for veterans to get into housing. And they've done that in two ways. The first way is they will now not include disability income in eligibility requirements. So that'll help get more vets into housing that way. And the other way is HUD has funded VASH, which are special vouchers for veterans. So they're giving more funding to that. So we're going in Orange County from 821 available housing vouchers to 1,039 available vouchers for veterans. So I thought that was really great news. I want to wish congratulations to all the winners of the Best of Laguna Niguel. Many of us were in attendance at the Chamber's monthly networking breakfast, so congratulations to all the winners of the Best of Laguna Niguel. I want to send out, I know we're here in California, but I know a lot of you probably have family or friends who perhaps live in the path of Hurricane Helene. Actually, the former city that I used to represent and that I lived in and on my street was hit very hard. And I just want to send best wishes to that region from California. So we're thinking of all of you over there. A lot of devastation. The USS Stockdale, interestingly enough, our adopted Navy ship, was actually attacked by Houthi missiles and an unmanned aerial vehicle, but is totally fine and defended themselves. There were 3 ships involved, but one of our adopted ships was actually attacked by these missiles, and so everybody is fine, no injuries, and all is well. But that's kind of the report from the Military Support Committee I thought you all would like to know about. And congratulations to Julie Mangrello Jennings, Sarah Varazzi, and Amati Bebahani, all residents of Laguna Niguel who won awards at the Orange County Iranian American Chamber of Commerce Award Ceremony. So thanks for those certificates, Mayor, and it was my honor to present them to them. So those are my comments for this evening. Thanks so much.
Thank you. In addition to those other things, I attended a Orange County Fire Authority press conference at a hospital that 2 of our hand crew firefighters were injured at. They were the most severely injured. So I'm pleading with you to continue to pray for them. It's going to be a long road ahead for a couple of them, so they need your prayers so much. So please, I ask you to continue to pray for them and their families and everyone involved. And I also attended the Mayor's Prayer Breakfast, where this is Orange County wide. There were hundreds of people that gathered with mayors across Orange County. We were given 1 to 2 minutes to talk about our city. So I talked about our Interfaith Breakfast and our Laguna Niguel's Cares initiative, and how where we celebrate our nonprofit organizations and faith-based groups in our community doing the hard work, feeding the hungry, housing the unsheltered, and protecting the vulnerable, and how we are intentional about taking action to serve others and walk alongside them in their time of need. Thank you. City Manager Letourneau.
Yes, we have several, I will call them all good news reports this evening to share with you. And the first will be presented by Finance Director Agrelius.
Thank you, City Manager Letourneau. Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. It's good to be with you tonight. The city recently received the Government Finance Officers Association, or GFOA, Distinguished Budget Presentation Award for the fiscal year 24-25 Operating Capital Improvement Budget. As you know, this is the second consecutive year the city has received this award. The budget was reviewed by an independent panel consisting of 3 anonymous raters. The city's budget received several outstanding marks for the fiscal year 24-25 document, and the average score increased by nearly 20% overall. The maximum score available per rater is 92 points, and the city's average score is 85.3 points. This year, I'd like to give a special shout out to Fabian Bravo from the Administration Department. If you go to the appendix in the budget, there's a lot of graphs and charts and things like that he put in, and that was the majority of the reason why we saw that increase. So really appreciate him and his efforts. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Next report this evening is from Public Works Director Scott.
Good evening, Mayor, again, members of the council. First report that I have is some good news about a grant that we were notified that we were going to receive on Monday, September 23rd. The Orange County Transportation Authority, also known as OCTA, Board of Directors approved a $3.5 million grant to extend the existing Laguna Niguel free summer trolley service and add a new northern extension to the route. Starting May of 2025, the Laguna Niguel Summer Trolley Program will have an additional available grant funding and accomplish 2 things: extend the existing southern summer trolley route for 3 additional years through 2031, and that's the route that's from Crown Valley Park to PCH, and we'll add a new northern route with 5 new stops that will connect the Crown Valley Park to Laguna Niguel Mission Viejo Metrolink Station. The trolley season will continue to operate on its route regular schedule from Memorial Day weekend to Labor Day starting in 2025. My second report is an update from the recent Niguel Hills Neighborhood Traffic Study Town Hall meeting. The second Town Hall meeting for the Niguel Hills Neighborhood Traffic Study was held at Grace Church, September 26 at 6 p.m. There were 52 residents in attendance. The city's consultant, RK Engineering, presented the results of the data collected throughout the neighborhood. RK Engineering staff also shared a survey that is being distributed to the neighborhood in order to seek feedback on the potential traffic calming measures such as signage, roadway striping, speed humps, and raised medians. Some residents completed the hard copy survey at the meeting, while others took the survey home to review and share with their neighbors. A digital survey is also available on the city's website, and the survey will also be mailed to all the households within the Niguel Hills neighborhood starting next week. Early results from the survey show an improved support for speed humps within the neighborhood. A third town hall meeting is being scheduled for mid-November to discuss the results of the survey and recommendations for the traffic calming within the neighborhood. The invitation for the third town hall meeting will be going out as soon as the meeting details are finalized. And that concludes my updates.
That's all our reports this evening, Mayor.
Wonderful. It is all very good news. Thank you very much for all your hard work, everyone. I appreciate it. We are now adjourned at 7:26. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice evening.